All right, this is your practice. I don't want you to have it online, but that means you will have to pause this at some point and then resume again to check yourself. So first of all, the directions. You need to decide if each fraction is closer to 0, 1/2, or 1, but to get the fraction, you have to read what it's asking for. So this first one asks for the fraction of circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the circles are 6, oopsies, out of 7, 8, 9, 10. And from there, you have to write, is this closer to 0, 1/2, or 1? So I need to see the fraction. You need to come up with that first and then decide, is it closer to 0, 1/2, or 1 whole thing? It helps to have these pictures like you didn't have in the book. You can see your circles look like they're almost the same amount as the triangles. So this, you wouldn't write an equal sign. Your arrow would be a good idea. This is closest to 1/2. Besides, it would take 5 out of 10 to be exactly 1/2. Number 1, the circles as a fraction of the entire set. First of all, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you have 15 circles out of how many total? Well, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Since I'm doing this on a computer screen, I might not be getting them exactly right, but hopefully I'm pretty close. 15 out of 27 is very close to, well, let's see, how many would it take for 1/2 of 27? 27 divided by 2 would be 13.5. 15 is really close to 13.5. Now, you probably can't do that in your head. You would have to do that on paper. But if you look at your circles and your triangles, again, you should see there's nearly the same amount of each. If we look down through the rest of the page here, there are some you can see, the squares as a fraction of the entire set. That one, yep, you would want to write the fraction first. So you have 2 squares out of 2, 4, 6, 8. So 2 squares out of 10. Is this close to 1/2? Well, you can tell just by looking. No, this is really close to 0. Okay, almost the whole set is the pentagons. What about if we look down further here? If we look at the triangles, there's another one that's really close to 0. Can we find any that are close to the whole thing? Well, not that it asks me about, but if I look back at these squares and pentagons, what if I look at it as the pentagon? What fraction of the set is the pentagon? Well, that is 8 out of 10, right? So 8 out of 10 is very close to 1 whole thing. To complete this, remember, I want you to write the fraction that it asks you for, then an arrow, and tell whether it's closest to 1/2, 0, or 1 whole. So pause, and I'm not going to even write out the whole word. Finish the page. Now I am going to resume, and I'm just going to talk you through this. So resume watching. I'm going to talk you through the rest of these answers. We already did the example, and we did number 1. Number 2, the fraction of hearts. 2, 4, 6 hearts out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. I'm not sure I'm counting that right. If there were 6 hearts out of 15 plus 6, that should be right around 21. 6 out of 21. That would still be closer to 0. If you counted a different amount than I did, hopefully you at least got 6 hearts, and you also saw that it's closest to 0. Number 3, pentagons as a fraction of the entire set. This is going to be closest to 1 whole, I'm thinking. So pentagons, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pentagons. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So 15 pentagons out of 26. I know 15 is half of 30, so I could argue that this is pretty close to half of the set, but 15 out of 26, 13 out of 26 is half. And if I'm just looking at it, I think I could equally argue that this is closer to 1 whole. See why I didn't give you just an answer sheet? Some of these you can argue both ways. Mathematically, what you would do is you would figure out exactly 1/2, and then you would subtract your amount from 1/2 to get an exact mathematical answer. But we're just getting familiar with what fractions are and thinking about, are they closest to 0, half, or a whole? Pentagons. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pentagons. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 shapes. So 12 pentagons out of 26 shapes. I know 12 is half of 24, so this is more than half. So it's actually closer to 1 whole thing, although I wouldn't blame you if you said that it's also very close to 1/2. The actual correct answer there would be 1 whole. We talked about number 5. We talked about number 7. Number 6, triangles. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 out of 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 shapes. So that is probably closest to 1/2. The moons. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 moons out of 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23. 8 out of 23 shapes is closest to 0. Triangles as a fraction of the set. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 out of 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 15 out of 27. 15 out of 30 is going to be exactly half. So I'm going to say 15 out of 27 is closest to 1/2. It's not closer to 0 and it's not closer to a whole. It's closest to 1/2 of that amount of shapes. Triangles. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 out of 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 9 out of 15. Well, 0 out of 15 would be 0. 15 out of 15 would be a whole thing. 7.5 out of 15 would be half, so 9 out of 15 is closest to 1/2. Finally, the moons. 2, 4, 5 out of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I had 5 out of 19. That's not very close to half. That is going to be closest to 0. Hopefully you're getting better at looking and estimating and thinking through, is it closest to 1/2, 0, or 1 whole? Don't forget today's assignment is to fix anything that needs fixed on your trimester skill review.